Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 19 of Short, Fat, and Balding, a podcast by Armchair Quarterbacks for Armchair Quarterbacks. I am Travis, one of three of us, who is going to navigate you through some sports stuff for the next couple of hours. I'm going to switch it up and say we also have James.
For the last time, I suck and Ohio State sucks.
Could you just say that a little bit louder?
One more
How
time
about
for
them
the people in the
Cowboys?
back.
Was that loud enough?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that 1-1? I'm pretty sure if we go back to recent history, last 3 years, 0-3 for Ohio State. So we're going to talk about a 1-1 split. The Eagles and Cowboys have split that season series for 11 years. So I was kind of expecting that loss. Doesn't hurt my feelings. So could you just say your
Hold on a second. I'm
could
getting
you
a
say-
call. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm taking a phone call. Oh, that's right. It's the Eagles. I got the fraud alert.
Oh, okay, dude. Okay. What were the Bengals in the fucking basement of their division? Anyway, so you were saying what? What?
Yeah, with Jake Browning at quarterback.
What were you
We
supposed
put up 31 points Sunday. How many did you guys put up?
What were you supposed to say? You what? You suck and who sucks?
I suck and Ohio State sucks. Yeah, we're
Thank you.
past this.
Nico's also here.
James sucks and Ohio State sucks.
Gonna talk about the fucking Cowboys like he gives a fuck.
You fucking little person.
Today,
Can I say that?
Yeah, you could say that. Today we're
I
gonna
think
talk.
that's the PC version.
Yeah, that is
I didn't know if that was PC. I didn't know if that was working or if we're gonna have to re-record this whole
At least,
fucking
well,
thing.
I mean, if there is a little person who listens to us and they would like to interject, I believe that's the PC way. I don't think you say midget or dwarf anymore, unless you're talking about like wrestling. Because I did see a
Yeah, they actively encourage that.
Yeah, I saw a billboard that was midget
Right.
versus dwarves.
That sounds like a Lord of the Rings thing. What's the difference?
Apparently it has to do with like there are like legitimately like little people who are just like regular proportions and they're just smaller, and then there's dwarves, which is dwarvism, where they have like off proportioned like limbs. That's when I googled it, because I had to Google it. I was like, what the fuck is the difference there? That's apparently the difference.
Nice. So you want to finish up the intro, or
yeah? Anyways, today we're going to talk about the record-breaking Ohtani contract and how that will most likely change how contracts are structured. Guys aren't going to get paid that much, but the way they structured that contract could change the future for baseball for a while. We're also going to address the state of officiating in the NFL, and as always, we'll do our Week 14 review and previews. All that and so very much more on this week's episode of Short, Fat, and Balding. Okay, so obviously the entirety of, I'm pretty sure anybody who follows sports in general, but especially people who follow baseball, saw that Ohtani got fucking paid by the Los Angeles Dodgers. But James, you had texted the group chat an interesting little tidbit, which is now public information, but go ahead and divulge us with the contract structure that Shohei Ohtani managed to get out of the Dodgers.
So the way I was looking at it, and I mean this isn't always necessarily fact. It depends on obviously state tax laws and all that other stuff. I think it was genius on Ohtani's end because California, notoriously high taxes between California and our lovely home state of New York. At the end of that contract, when he's getting that payout at the end, what is it, $680 million at the end?
Yes.
Over 10
He
years.
can move.
No. It's $2 million a year for 10 years, which is $20 million, and then he's taking the 680 lump sum at the end.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's getting it paid out again over 10 years at the end of his contract.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but still, so even in that, you're $680 million, he's not going to be playing anymore. And chances are he's not going to be living in California. So he can move to a place like Florida with no state income tax and get all that extra money. Because if you look at it from so just for rough numbers, we'll say California's tax realistically, I think, is for what he's making is probably around 50% between state and federal and all that. Then if he goes and moves to Florida, his money's coming from California, but he's still a resident in Florida. And I don't know tax law, so don't quote me on this, but from what I read up on, he would be able to live in Florida and not pay state taxes on that, just pay the federal. So you're talking about a 30% increase in income by taking it at the end. And I mean, let's be honest, he's the face of baseball. So sponsorships probably for the next 5-6 years are going to pay for his contract and then some anyways. So he's financially set. But I think it's a stroke of genius. And I think players, if they're smart or they have good lawyers and agents, you'll see them take contracts like that where they're going to get paid after the fact, and they can do it in a state that doesn't pay state income taxes, because you're just making more money off your deal by doing that.
Right.
I thought it was a touch of genius.
It is. I worry about the league moving to like that structure, because obviously it allows people to, or allows teams to offload cap hits and things like that. But like, man, something about basically, so for instance, if say you had 3 players who had contracts similar to that, like, because you're only going to pay your big studs the big money. So say you're looking at the Yankees right now and they signed Judge, Soto, and Garrett Cole to similarly length contracts, and they were all in the $400 to $600 million range, and they decided to do what they're doing, where they're getting $2 to $5 million a year and then getting the bulk on the back end 10-year payout. That has the chance to avalanche into some not so fun debts that are accrued. I know professional sports makes tons and tons of money, but it's not Bobby Bonilla who's getting $1.5 million. We're talking.
You're talking $68 million a year for
Right.
a guy who's not playing anymore.
Exactly.
But I also think it's kind of smart on the team's ends too, because I mean, if we look at it, salary caps go up each year, right?
Yep.
10 years from now, $68 million a year for 10 years isn't going to hurt their salary cap as much as it is now, because you're going to have a higher number. Granted, the way sports go is every year we have a new highest paid whatever in each sport. So I don't know. I mean, but it's hard to tell 10 years from now what salaries are going to look like. 10 years from now, you could have, middle of the road guys making 50 mil a year.
Yeah.
It's all an economy game, and I'm not going to try and guess it because it's going to be off, but I think it benefits both parties, because now you have the Dodgers, okay, for the next 10 years they're only paying Ohtani $2 million a year. Cool. They're going to stay underneath that luxury tax threshold.
Mm-hmm.
But in 10 years, we don't know what salaries are going to look like.
True.
Middle of the road could be 55 million. But I think it's beneficial to the player, the team we don't know yet. Because 5-6 years from now, the MLB could come in and say, all right, we're going to do a hard cap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, now they're paying $68 million years, $68 million
$68 million years. That's
a year.
Crazy.
Yeah. $68 million a year to a guy who's not even going to touch the field for him. And I think that will end up being the Dodgers' downfall, because I know they like to spend money, and I just don't see it being beneficial long term. If you look at the Rams, they sold the house to win that Super Bowl.
They did, but the NFL's a hard cap league, so it's a little different.
Yeah, but like, they very easily could have lost that Super Bowl.
Right.
And then now you don't have a first round draft pick for what, 5 years? I don't.
Well, I mean, look at what the Panthers are going through after giving up what they gave up.
They're about to give the Bears the #1 overall pick.
Right.
I mean,
that's the mistakes you can make. I mean, that's a shitty GM. But the
Bears are going to do Bears things.
Did you see the thing that's like Shohei Ohtani is now worth more than the entire Arizona Coyotes franchise?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he's also equal to the owner of the Rockies.
Really?
The owner of the Rockies is worth $700 million, which is
Shohei Ohtani's contract in and of itself is higher than 9 teams' entire payroll.
yeah.
What's nuts to me is there's no opt-outs in that contract.
I thought it was a bad contract. I mean, if we're gonna like really dive into it, I thought it was a stupid contract. But I've been saying that signing a 30-year-old to a 10-year contract and basing it off of his ability to do two things, one of which he might not be able to do when the time comes, or not be able to do it for the length of the contract. Like, basically, what they're saying is he's a $40 million hitter and he's a $30 million pitcher, so they paid him $70 million a year. Is in essence how they valued it out. But if he doesn't come back from his Tommy John correctly, or he needs another one, God forbid, like, you just wasted $30 million a year. You could have got him at, we could have saved $100 million or $150 million, and he still would have been the highest paid player in baseball.
I think 10 years is going to be the big mistake.
Well, yeah, look at what happened with the Robinson Cano contract. I mean, he was, what, 26 when he signed that, and it still didn't fucking pan out. Like,
I don't like long-term contracts for guys over 25.
No, 10-year contracts are stupid as fuck anyways. Like, everything in sports should be a 4 to 6 year contract where it's like, we'll do that and then we'll readdress.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or give yourself an opt-out at least. Like, if Ohtani's still tearing it up and you don't want to have to worry about free agency, then, you can opt in, but why would you not put an opt-out somewhere in the halfway point of that contract? Because they're gonna be shitting bricks when they have to pay him $700 million, and he can't pitch, and he's diminished as a hitter when he's 37 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with sports too, you just never know what's going to happen. He could have a career-ending injury off the field tomorrow.
Right, and that's the fair gamble that you're going to get into anyways. But there are things that you can predictively understand. Like, obviously, when the Yankees signed Aaron Judge, like, the next day he could have got plucked in the side of the head with a baseball and, like, been out of baseball forever. But that's a freak accident. But the production that's going to happen, and you can estimate it, and then the level of which it's going to decrease. It's just, I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand it was like $10 million or die. But oh my god. Sorry, that was a crazy block shot for Trouba. The idea of you're just going into that knowing that you're going to get a depreciative value over time and saying, yeah, okay. Like, so in my mind, basically the Dodgers are like, he's worth, we'll say $500 million, $100 million a year for the next 5 years, and then we'll just figure out the rest. Is basically how I assessed the situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine making that commitment to a guy who's going into his second Tommy John.
Right. Going into his second Tommy John, and career pitchers don't necessarily pitch well past 35. Like, so you're going to tell me a two-way player is going to continue to perform at an elite level past 35? I don't see it.
And that only gives him what, 4 years, 5 years of that deal?
It gives him 5 years, yeah. Which is why I was like, okay, well, they're basically saying he's 5 years at $100 million a year, and then from there they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I knew the Dodgers would be a team to do something like that, but I don't know. We'll see how it works out for them. I mean, for all we know, they could win 5 World Series in a row.
Yeah, no, that's true. Speaking of big moves, the Yankees, did they trade for him for Soto?
They traded, yeah.
Yes.
They traded for Juan Soto. So you guys can tell me what you think about that.
I hate that we got rid of Michael King.
Yeah, Michael King and Brito kind of hurt. And Higgy.
No, I could care less. I could care less about Brito. I wanted to see Drew Thorpe because based on the numbers that I saw, he looked like he was developing really well. He was 14-2 with a 2.59 ERA. Granted, it was in Double-A, but I think that those numbers would have translated better and better as he moved up, and I think that one kind of hurts. But
The problem I have with that, though, is you look at prospects, and they're not a guaranteed thing. He could have one
I'm
good.
not
I mean, it
saying
even
that it's
happens.
guaranteed.
I mean, it happens even on the pro level. I mean, you have one good year, and then there's a fall off. So us trading prospects, especially a double A prospect, I kind of want to see what happens. But if it's like we talked about before, the Yankees have to be in a win now. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, so
I
trade
think
a good
this is
bullpen
showing
arm for.
Soto. I mean, I like the deal. I wish we could have kept Higgy. I like Higgy, but I mean, it's not the end of the
He
world if
wasn't good for
Soto
anything.
produces
He wasn't good for anything more than his defense.
and his preseason spring training home runs. He's a
What
spring
does that
training home
matter in the
run
regular
king.
season?
It doesn't matter. It was like the Yankees when they had Swisher. He wasn't the best player on the field, but it's one of those
He was
guys
always there when you
you
needed
learned.
him, and Higgy just wasn't.
He was there when we needed him.
Not hardly.
Agree to disagree. But
Clearly,
yeah.
we're
I
not
mean,
watching the
in
same
the
fucking Yankees team.
I didn't watch last year, if we're being honest with you. I
Then
watched like
that
the first half of the season, the whole
everything I
second
need
half
to
I just
fucking
shut it
know.
off.
He hit like fucking 160.
Did he last year? He
It
batted
wasn't good.
236.
Still not good.
Yeah, but Soto
His
wasn't much
offense was
better.
suspect as best at best. And Soto hit 275 and won a batting title the year before. Like, I don't want to hear that fucking Soto's not anything.
I'm not saying Soto's not anything, but I'm saying
And the kid's fucking
in the grand
25
scheme
years
of
old.
things.
In the grand scheme of things, Soto's proven
Yeah,
himself to be one of the best hitters in baseball.
I don't know about that.
You
I
can't say the
agree.
same
I
thing
agree
about fucking
he's top
Higgy.
echelon. No, you can't say the same thing about Higgy, but I just feel like Higgy's always been there. Higgy's been humble. Higgy hasn't like if he when he got benched in lieu of Trevino, there wasn't any like hostility towards it. He was a team player. I think Higgy was what it is to be a Yankee in the model that he played. And we could sit here all day and argue back and forth. I mean, Soto, I would rather have Soto, but I feel like Higgy was just a throw on, and I don't like that. But that's just my opinion. I was a big Higgy fan, but the Orioles signed Craig Kimbrell
I don't even know who that is.
to a
Well,
1 year, $13 million.
his career's gonna die.
The Orioles?
No, Kimbrel. This
Why
is
is
gonna
his
be the end
career
of his
gonna die?
career. I feel like this is the end of his career now.
Oh,
That's where players go on
I mean,
1-year deals when they're ready to retire.
you're saying?
I
Wait,
mean, he is
whoa, hot
35.
take here. Are you saying that the Baltimore Ravens are the Washington Wizards of the MLB?
Well,
Say that
no,
again?
because the Baltimore Ravens aren't in the
Oh, the
MLB.
Baltimore Orioles. Sorry. All right, dude. Nobody's ever misspoke before.
It's just kind of funny.
It's funny. I'm just trying to make sure that's the take.
Yes, that is the take. That is the take. I will die
Hold
on
on.
this hill.
Okay, hold on. Give me where you're coming from with this, because if you're coming from a certain angle, I agree. Or if you're just saying it's just the Baltimore Orioles is where people go to retire.
No, I'm saying that like the Washington Wizards is like where you almost get sent there as a punishment. It's like where you go to be invisible.
No, I'm talking to Nico,
Oh,
because I might agree
No,
with you
that's
a
exactly
little
what
bit
I'm
on this
saying.
stance. Okay, but this isn't.
The Orioles want to get younger. They play young. They play fun. And Kimbrel's not about that. He's fucking he plays serious. And I've never fucking understood the guy with his fucking ridiculous warm-ups.
So, arm
But
out.
yeah, that whatever the fucking flying eagle shit he does.
I think he's going there because he sees an opportunity to get another ring or get a ring. I don't know if he has one. He got one with the Sox, didn't he?
He got one with the Sox. I'm pretty sure he got one with the Phillies.
oh gosh.
I'm pretty sure he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got at least one, maybe two.
I think he's just chasing a ring. I think the Orioles were a couple pieces away, and he's trying to be one of those pieces. I'll tell you a trade I like.
I don't think so. Because with Felix Bautista, the Orioles didn't need a closer.
No, but he's going in to be a setup man. The same way Chapman did when Clay Holmes took over as the closer.
I don't agree with it. I don't like it.
He's got 13 million reasons to like it.
Jesus.
The Yankees traded for Verdugo.
Yes.
We talked about that last week, didn't we?
No, it happened after. I like Verdugo. I also wanted to see what Greg Weissert could do.
I like Greg Weissert.
Who's going to be the full-time center fielder in that group? None of them are center
I think
fielders.
Judge.
You think so?
I think so. Judge is serviceable enough in center field.
I feel like that is so. Judge said multiple times he liked playing center field. I think he's going to be the starting center fielder. Wow.
Center fielder.
The center fielder.
Center fielder.
I think he's going to be the starting center fielder. And then Soto and left, Verdugo and right, I believe, is what they play, right? Or is that the other way around?
You got me, dude.
No, Soto's a left
fielder.
Either
way. Soto's left fielder. So, yeah, so Alex Verdugo is going to be the right fielder. I think that's what you're going to see happen. Unless they got Verdugo as a depth piece and plan on starting Dominguez in center, which is very possible. But I don't know. I don't think we'll know anything until spring training starts and we start seeing what they're doing.
Is that it as far as like major moves on the MLB hot stove? Are we done?
No,
so
actually,
far, I think so.
There's a big
other
one
than
today.
The Padres, Jung-Hoo Lee.
Giants.
Oh, it was the Giants.
Giants
okay,
landed him.
6 years, 113, and he was far and away the best hitter in Japanese professional baseball. I don't know what their league goes by.
Yeah, are we still waiting on Yamamoto?
Yes, we're still waiting on Yamamoto.
Yeah, Yamamoto hasn't made a decision.
We're still waiting on what the fuck is his name? Shota something.
The Cardinals added Sonny Gray. The Mets signed Luis Severino to a 1-year, $13 million show me contract.
Could you imagine $13 million show me? I would do a lot.
There's a lot of things I would do for $13 million.
Right.
But
missed opportunity.
I think that's really it for big Ohtani, Soto.
I mean, isn't it pretty much settled upon that Yamamoto's gonna go to?
Not yet.
I don't know.
After the way the Ohtani contract came out, they're pushing hard to get Yamamoto too.
The Dodgers are?
I think so.
Where the fuck are they gonna put him? They have a 5-man rotation already?
No, I think Julio Urias lost that job after last year. And I mean, yeah, they've got, Dustin May, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, but Clayton Kershaw's a shadow of his former self.
Oh, wow.
No, absolutely.
Yamamoto and Josh Hader are both being pursued by the Dodgers right now.
Dude, the Dodgers are World Series or bust.
Yeah, if Steinbrenner doesn't give Yamamoto 250 plus, he's going to the Dodgers.
I mean, Steinbrenner seems to be.
Yeah, but how long are you signing him for? How long do you sign him for?
8?
Is the question.
Right.
8? How old is he?
21.
Oh, he's still a baby. You can get away with doing 8.
Yeah, he's tiny. Yeah, he's brand new. He's not crazy.
I feel like the Bronx would be a good fit for him too, though. I mean, if you look at the market they captured with Matsui.
Statistically, how well Japanese players play in New York.
And didn't you guys say that Matsui and Tanaka are like talking to him themselves?
They were at the meeting.
Oh, okay.
That was, from what I've seen, that was a rumor. That wasn't confirmed. Which, I mean, honestly, getting this information, you have to pick and choose.
Right.
Especially last year after the whole Arson Judge situation. Like, everybody's looking to break news. So if they
Carson
hear
Judge
something
and
like,
John Soto.
yeah, John Soto, huge, big Yankee.
That was
Um,
the tweet of the year by the Yankees, by the way.
What?
Um, after they signed Soto, the official Yankees Twitter put out a tweet that said, "John Soto appears headed to Yankees."
I love shit like that.
That's so petty, but so fucking funny.
but I mean, you can't trust anything you see anymore, you know?
Well, yeah, it's Dan Patrick talks about it all the time. Like we're in an era where it's no longer like people reporting, it's always sources are saying. They never say
Yep.
anything. No, there's no concrete, it's all speculation, and so that leads to a world where like we don't really ever fucking know what's happening. Yeah, no.
What makes it even better, it was exactly 1 year after the arson judge tweet. Troll job by the Yanks. Man.
We'll take a short break, pop back, and talk about football because there's a lot of shit happened this weekend that to be discussed. Some shocks, some refereeing, some fucking crazy games. Be right back.
Some opinions.
All right. NFL Week 14 was a
The
doozy.
No Fun League.
The No Fun League. Week
No
14
Fun League.
was a doozy. Started off with a 21-18 victory for the New England Patriots. Bailey Zappi, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, looking like Tom Brady incarnate. Then we got into Sunday, and holy shit, man. I mean, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it first. I mean, there's just no way around it. It is the conversation that is moving the week forward for the NFL. The Chiefs and the Bills. I mean, James, I know you have your piece. You've been picking on Chiefs fans for the last 48 hours. Like, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah. I do not understand the logic between the talking heads, and I know Patrick Mahomes today came out and apologized for everything after the fact, but I sit here and I look at it, right? And everybody says, "Oh, well, it's just his edge. It's just his fiery edge," you know? If Tony wasn't offsides, I would get it. 100%. But the logic behind what Patrick Mahomes was saying, it was a cool play, so they shouldn't have thrown the flag, even though the flag was thrown before the play. Because you don't blow offsides dead. Um, it makes no sense. You know, and I feel like they walked themselves into a hole and now they're trying to back themselves out of it by, oh, I apologize, I apologize. No, you don't. You and this is to the organization, the fans, everybody. You tore down the NFL and refereeing for making the right call. And everybody says, well, the next play, Von Miller was offsides and they had the cute little screenshots. The ball's fucking snapped in the screenshot. So the logic, it blows my mind how, and it's not just like, I understand the fans are upset because they lost. It is what it is. Like, I get being mad that your team lost. I get being mad that, it negated a cool play, as they were saying. But this doesn't, like, the way Patrick Mahomes was making it sound like it affected Travis Kelce's legacy. Get out of here. It was nothing more than crying because your team is on a skid and your team isn't as good as they appear to be. And most of that's the receivers they couldn't catch the coronavirus in fucking March of 2020 if they were licking door handles. But it's one of those things where like Andy Reid said, oh, this is an embarrassment for the NFL. No, it's not. It's an embarrassment for your organization. And I get it. Like, I'll be 100%. I'm a Bengals fan. I don't like the Chiefs. But this is getting out of hand. They complained the week before about the pass interference. Meanwhile, the clock stopped while the receiver was going out of bounds backwards, which you don't stop the clock on. There was another one they were complaining about. But it's showing me that the Chiefs know they're in trouble. They aren't winning the AFC. They aren't going back to the Super Bowl. I'll be surprised if they make the AFC Championship without help. But for an organization that, for the last, we'll say 3 years, 2 years, has gotten calls against them on just weak calls. Weak. I don't understand why you're crying on national television. You can't even tell Josh Allen good game because you're too busy crying about a call. I get being upset. I get it. I play sports. Like, I understand calls don't go your way, and it pisses you off and it gets you fired up. But at what point do we stop making excuses for them? I feel like this was the referees told Patrick Mahomes, no, you can't get this toy at the store. And then he just laid down, started kicking his feet. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my dislike for the Chiefs, but I don't think it is, because if Joe Burrow did something like that, I would be fucking pissed as a fan. Like, I'm giving you my money. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be the face of the sport, and this is what you do when you lose? Your problem isn't with the referees. Your problem's with Kadarius Toney. And I don't really care. They say, oh, well, he looked at the ref. I don't give a shit. He looked over. There's the clip of him, or the picture of him. He's looking towards the center. And it's not like he was barely offsides. This man was offsides.
Right.
Like, half of his body was offsides. If you're telling me he didn't notice that, come on, it's elementary. When you play wide receiver, you learn where to line up.
Right.
You have to be behind that ball. It's not on the referees. He could have been looking, he might have looked over and been like, hey, they're not saying anything, it's an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't get mad at referees. And they act like that was the last play of the game. They had 2 more chances after that and couldn't get anything done. The last pass of the game, he threw it to nobody. So this whole logic that cost them the game is bullshit. And it's embarrassing for them. And I mean, I know I've been in the comments because I take every opportunity I can to troll because I love talking shit. So I've seen the comments, and there's literally Chiefs fans who are like, well, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. And I'm like, but it is. They did the right thing.
Right.
And they're like, oh, the Bills gave him the game. The Bills gave him the game. Patrick Mahomes' wife took a picture of the referee and said, Bills MVP. Like, come on, guys. It was the right call. Stop being bladasses and accept the fact that you're not what you used to be. You're not the juggernaut you thought you were.
Right.
That's just how I feel. I mean, I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on it, because I think it's horseshit. I think it's an embarrassment, and I think they should be fined.
I didn't particularly like the fact that I took particular issue with Andy Reid's post-game conference in saying that basically, even if he was offsides, you got to warn us. Like, no, you don't. It's a penalty. It's not their
courtesy
job
for them to warn you.
It's not their job to do that. And the referee stated in the press pool afterwards that they do have conversation with wideouts, that Tony never reached out to him, but also it was egregious to the point where it should have been noted by the team. Like, the quarterback is standing there. More importantly, the center is supposed to look left and right. There's no way the center looked out at Kadarius Toney and didn't see that he was offside. So that's a player on your team who didn't make the adjustment either, because he could have easily said, step back. whatever. I'm pretty sure they were home, so it's quiet. And
that's the thing, like,
yeah, they were in the red, so yeah, they were at home.
Right.
And I know, like, I know it's not the same, but even like I play rough touch football, and the first thing I do is look both ways and make sure everybody's behind me.
Right. I mean, you say it's not the same, but it is. I mean, it's the first task of a center. Is everybody behind my ball? If they're not, we got a problem. Then from there,
and I think honestly, because the Chiefs have been so entitled or spoiled by refs,
right?
They honestly thought they were going to get away with it.
Well, and then the other thing I take issue with is Mahomes' post-game conference where he says you can't call ticky-tack stuff like that to decide a game. Like that's not what decided their Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's not what decided the AFC Championship.
Right.
I mean, in that AFC Championship, Joe Mixon got hit. He was on the other side of the white line, and somebody came up and hit him.
Right. And so
you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like and then at the end of the game, Joseph Osai touches Patrick Mahomes and they throw a flag.
Yeah. It's it's a bad look. And the people who are still on, like the talking heads who are still on there, just like ass kissing the Chiefs. I mean, granted, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You haven't really talked much.
Yeah, I know. I just want to know how the NFL can call that against Kadarius Toney when I've seen numerous pictures and tweets from Tyreek Hill saying no, he wasn't offsides.
Again, that's somebody who was Tyreek Hill on the field.
Yes.
That sound like
not that field.
He was, but that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna trust the referees that were on the field at that game that were standing on that line, and you can take all the pictures you want of the blue line. The blue line's not on the field, guys.
The blue line
it's not real.
The blue line doesn't matter. There's a specific angle that is the most egregious one, and it's the one that's on that line marker but up, and you can see that the ball is at the we'll call it the 50 or 49 and a half, and Kadarius Toney's lined up on the 49, like clear as day. You can see that because he's almost to the hash mark. So he's a full half yard in front of the ball, and someone's going to say he's not offside. Like, what?
Honestly, I think the Chiefs were upset that they had the cool play and it got called back.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great play by Travis Kelce. It was, and it would have been epic. But how many great plays in our lives have been called back? You know, how many cool kick returns, or how many amazing defensive plays have been called defensive pass interference and things like that. Like it's part of the game. It's part of the game. Just
and
because
you've got to.
And if I don't know, you guys probably don't pay attention as much as I do in terms of like what the competition committee's talking about. But like one of the points of emphasis this year was offensive offside. So in 2021, the call was called 2 times the whole year. In 2022, it was called once the whole year. In 2023, it's been called 11 times. The competition committee wanted them to focus on making sure that offenses were lined up correctly. And so it's going to happen more. These teams all know that. Like, and people are saying that, oh, Patrick Mahomes wasn't actually mad at the officials. He was speaking through the officials to his receiver. Bullshit. You're just you're a fucking Patrick Mahomes apologist. At the end of the day, he did what he did, and he was completely fucking out of line. I mean, to have to be held back from an official, like, are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know where this attitude from him has come from.
And like,
because
I don't feel like
good.
He's been like.
Yeah, he's never.
I was going to say I don't feel like he's been like this in the 5-6 years he's been in the league now.
No, God no.
His team.
He's turning into a whine ass.
And he's doing it quickly. I think honestly we're watching the downfall of the Chiefs. Granted, they're 8-5. Okay, I'll give them that. But Baltimore's 10-3. They aren't catching Baltimore. They aren't going to host every playoff game this year. Miami's ahead of them too. Like, they know they're not going to host every game this year. And I think that's part of the problem is they know they don't have home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs. And they've had that. I mean, if you look at the last 3 playoffs, AFC Championship has been in Kansas City.
Right.
But they're not going to get that this year because they're not the best team. And I think, honestly, it's a sense of spoiled child syndrome.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's what's happening. I think you're seeing Patrick Mahomes realize he's not on the best team in the league. He's not the front runner for MVP. He's not going to get all the awards. He's not going to get all the attention. He's not going to get all the love. And I think it's turning into a spoiled baby syndrome. And a lot of that's not on him. A lot of it's on his wide receivers for dropping balls left and right. But at the same time, this is a leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
If
supposed to be.
I feel like if it was any other quarterback, I feel like if Bryce Young did that, it would be the end of his career. He'd be getting slammed up and down on every single news sports outlet. But because it's Patrick Mahomes, you put the baby gloves on. Oh, he's just a competitor. Okay. Are you telling me Joe Burrow's not a competitor? Lamar Jackson's not a competitor?
Here we go.
What?
So
No, I'm saying all these guys are competitors. None of them have had an outburst like that. And I get it, it's sports and stuff, but like Travis said, you have to be held back from the referee. You can't even tell the other guy good game. Like, come on.
Right.
That's not a leader. That's not a good role model. Anything?
No. I
no.
For once in your life, you're making good points.
Fuck you. Alrighty. So what other big happenings do we have this week in the NFL?
I mean, the Eagles collapsed. Now, I'm not going to call them frauds because the 2 losses that the Eagles have are to the Niners and to the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals
and the Jets.
And oh, you're right, yeah, the Jets. But either way, the 2 recent losses is what I'm saying. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals, and they lost to.
So,
oh, never mind.
Are you a little bit nervous as an Eagles fan?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the defense there's nothing across the middle. Like, people are like, the secondary doesn't want to tackle. The middle of the defense is non-existent. They go out and they get. I mean, granted, it was. Is his last name Leonard? Shaq Leonard?
Yeah, Shaquille Leonard.
Yeah, it's his first game, so I'm not gonna hold him too much as far as not being in his assignments. But the middle of the field's a problem. I mean, Nakobe Dean being out for as long as he's been out. Granted, Cunningham came back, and that made a little bit of a difference, but that's a problem. I mean, they're the worst third down team in the NFL. They are. It doesn't matter if it's third and fucking 33. It's bad. Sean Desai makes no adjustments. He doesn't do any of that stuff, and the offense is the most predictable offense I've ever seen in my life. They don't do motion to read defenses. They don't give Jalen the advantage. Like, he basically has to make his reads post snap, which is like fucked up. And Brian Johnson tends to bail on the team's identity, which is balance, whenever the going gets tough. So, like, yeah, I don't think this team, unless they figure it out over the next 4 weeks and they start to look good and start to dominate, I don't think they have it.
I mean, their only real threat in the NFC right now is 49ers. come playoff time. Cowboys are one and done every year. They're not gonna. They'll find a way to get eliminated.
Right.
But
No, I mean you're 100%
that's
right.
fair.
And more than that, like there's just like there's issues. That's I'll just leave. Um, I don't think that they're things that can be fixed. I mean, I don't think that they can fix and make themselves competitive with the 49ers. I'll say that. What they're going to have to do if they want to get back to the Super Bowl, because I think they can beat anybody at any day. But I think if they want to get back to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to hope that somebody goes into San Francisco and beats that team. Because I do not see them doing it.
We had a couple big injuries this weekend.
Yes.
CJ Stroud in concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm. Which sucks because I was about to go see him.
Yeah. We have. How's Nate doing?
Nate gave up a long time ago.
Kirby out. They said he was out for the year now.
Yeah, it's finger surgery.
Yep. Derek Carr. Derek Carr was last week, wasn't he? Was he this week? Yeah, I mean that's two big quarterbacks right there. Feel bad for CJ Stroud though.
I do too.
Actually, I feel bad for the Texans in general. I mean, they lost Stroud. He's probably going to be out for a week or two, maybe longer. They lost Tank Dell. That hit, he hit his head hard.
Yeah, he did.
So there's that one. A bunch of people. Devin Duvernay and Kyle Hamilton for the Ravens.
The Ravens are
they were ruled out versus the Rams.
Just losing bodies left and right.
They were ruled out. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there's.
Isn't Jettis back out?
Yeah, he's back out with a chest injury.
Yeah, you got to take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Did he play?
Yeah, he played this weekend and then left in the middle of the game by ambulance.
Yeah. Alexander Madison was a non-participant in Tuesday's practice with an injury. Justin Jefferson was a limited participant in practice with a chest injury. Jalen Naylor is non-participant. Yeah, that's
on the upside. Nobody tore their Achilles this week.
The first.
Yeah, feels way too common lately.
Right.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne.
He's out too.
I'm just looking. It's on third.
I think that's like their injury lists.
Yeah.
In other news, the Rangers lost by a football score. I don't get it.
Jair Alexander, shoulder, out from against the Giants. Damn, the Texans went through it. C.J. Stroud, concussion protocol. Davis Mills took QB duties. Defensive end Will Anderson Jr. ankle did not return. Wide receiver Nico Collins, calf did not return. Lake Course Cashman and Tier Thomas are ruled out. Josh Jacobs out with a knee. Tutu Atwell is being evaluated for a concussion. over the Jefferson and Madison. Derek Carr, 3 fib fractures. Jesus Christ.
What did you just say?
Did I say fib fractures?
You said fib fractures.
Rib fractures.
He's got free fib fractures.
Yeah, 3 rib fractures. That's brutal.
He's got 3 of them. Count them.
Reed
1, 2, 3.
Blankenship is in concussion protocol, and Cam Jurgens did not return with a chest injury for the Eagles. Javon Hargrave is out for the Niners. Javarius Ward. Drew Lock is going to start against the Niners because Geno Smith has a groin injury, or started against the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And then nobody really cares about the Bucs. Yeah, no, that's a list of heavy names with some scary stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only going to get worse. And I guess there's whisperings that the NFL wants to add an 18th game. Like, I don't know how the writing's on the wall. Maybe.
I think 18's too many.
I think so too.
I think you're risking a lot by doing that. And I get when they added the 17th, they cut back on a preseason game, and the NFL's just doing it for money. But you know, these players take a beating.
Yes.
And with, you know, all the concussions and Achilles and shit that we just keep seeing over and over and over again, I feel like that number is just going to get higher.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things where, I mean, I was watching an interview the other day. Someone was interviewing Brett Favre, and they asked him, you know, how old should kids be when they start to play tackle football? And he said they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, I know they have strength and conditioning coaches and all that stuff, but I feel like, man,
I'm right there
that's
with
a
you.
lot.
And like, you know, I bring it up all the time how hockey doesn't hit until 13. You just find, granted, there is speculation that players aren't at the highest levels aren't as good at receiving hits, but I don't know if that's so much the fact that they don't hit until they're young, or the fact that most big hits now draw penalties. So like, why teach yourself to take a hit when if you just get absolutely decked, you know what I mean? You'll draw a penalty.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jacob Trouba.
He's usually the one laying it out.
He's usually the one laying it out,
Yeah.
but 97% of his hits are all clean.
Oh, absolutely. And that's so I don't know if you guys saw while we're on the topic. I don't know if you guys saw Torts's statement about that, but basically like the fact that that's kind of like what he was saying. He was like, I don't think that guys who lay out who hit hard and clean should have to fight every time they hit somebody, because every time we see a big hit, we think it's a dirty hit, and therefore it leads to an altercation. He's like, if it's a clean hit, it's a clean hit. Like, I don't know what you're mad about, basically. He said that's
get up, shake it off, and fucking go play hockey.
Yeah, and that's where he was like, these guys need to learn how to take a hit, because then there'd be a lot less of that. And I can't say I disagree with him, which is weird because
no,
usually I don't particularly care for what John Tortorella has to say, but anyways,
that's fair.
Just going over the week, quick recap. We talked about the Patriots and Steelers real quick. Man, that is a blunder of a coaching job by what's his name? Mike Tomlin. They're calling for.
You think he's gone after this year?
I don't. I think that
I was gonna say
the Steelers are like the most patient franchise in history. Like, he won't.
No, the Bengals are the most patient franchise in history. They let Marvin Lewis have a job, and the man never made halftime adjustments.
Nico, shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying, there's anger and frustration in that one. He was there for 16 years and did not make a single halftime adjustment.
Everything is a reference to the Bengals, Nico. Okay? Just accept that.
No, but at least Tomlin has winning records.
Right.
I mean,
he's never not had a winning record.
Exactly.
Right, but the standard in Pittsburgh is a lot higher than the standard in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they actually win games up there.
Right. So, what's Cincinnati supposed to do? Be like, oh, we suck. Sorry. Just that's what they do.
It's called actively trying to get better.
Right. I mean, I guess. Cowboys and Eagles. We talked about the Buccaneers walk away with a win in the worst division in football over the Falcons, 29-25. I am certain that there's 3 teams now who are all 6-7 in the division. That's awful. The Lions pooped their fucking pants. Holy shit.
I cannot get a read on this fucking team.
Neither can I, man. I don't know who they are.
One week they come out and
they come out the season starting fucking 8-2.
Yeah. And then they've gone 1-2 since.
It's not even that. It's just watching them play.
Right.
You literally don't know what you're gonna get. Like 1 week, they're like, oh my god, this is probably the best team in the league. And then the next week, you're like, I'm pretty sure a Pee Wee team could beat them.
Yeah, no,
like, there's no consistency.
It's brutal. And like, we all want the Lions to be good because like that city has had fuck all for so long that you're just like, yeah, it's cool. I'm cool if the Lions are good, and like they just can't. They can't put it all together, man.
Also, yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Also,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I only know one Lions fan, and she's just stoked they're 9-4. So
right, I mean that's what Lions fans are. I mean, let's be honest. But I'll be like the more shocking thing out of that whole situation is that if in week 3 of this season you had told me that the Bears were going to end up being 5-8 in week 14, I would have told you you're fucking crazy. I would have told you were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They were bad, and now they're like okay bad. The Colts.
If you would have told me the Broncos would be a game out at any point in time this season from the Chiefs,
that's true.
I would have said you're full of shit.
That's true.
I would have said, you know what? I'll bet my house on that.
The Bengals get over 500. 7-6 in the AFC, where like 7-6 is. I feel like everybody in the AFC 7-6. If you're not a division leader,
7-6 is 10th place in the AFC. Just so
yeah, but it's like tied for like 5th people, like 5 other teams. Pretty sure
6 teams are 7-6.
Yeah,
and then the 3 that are above them are all 8-5. Right now, 1 game separates 11th and 3rd place.
Yep. Buffalo Bills down there at 11th. That's fucking brutal.
The worst part is the AFC North is the Bengals are in the bottom and they're 7-6.
Yeah, well, you got the Baltimore Ravens at 10-3, the Cleveland Browns at 8-5, and then the Bengals and the Steelers at 7-6. And the Steelers having lost back-to-back games to teams with 2 wins.
That's another one. Can't figure it out. Don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. The Jags dropped 1 to the Browns, man. Like, they were on top of the world.
I don't think Lawrence should have played that.
They're still the Jags.
Neither do I. He had 3 picks.
I think
look good.
No, he's with a high ankle sprain. You're not going to play good.
Right.
You can't be expected to be perfect.
And for the most part, they've got that division pretty well locked up. The Colts are sitting 1 game behind, but they have the season tiebreaker on the Colts. I'm pretty sure they swept them already. So like, why not rest him? Panthers and Saints. I mean, the Panthers are so fucking bad. Bryce Young had 137 yards. I mean, it's just
embarrassing.
It's bad. The shocker of the week: the Jets 30-6. 30 points from the Jets. I don't think they've scored 30 points.
That feels
all
like
season.
I was just gonna say that feels like more than they've scored all season.
Yeah.
Well, other than that game against the Eagles.
They scored 21, 14 of which were defensive.
Yeah.
Whatever. The point is, the Jets look good. CJ Stroud goes down. Zach Wilson, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, I don't know what it is with him.
He's so...
But also, I can't judge him
it's black and white with him.
The Jets have the worst, probably one of the worst offensive lines in football. So, like, I don't think it's, this is almost proof that I don't think it's Zach Wilson's fault.
I've said it from the jump. I don't think it's Zach Wilson's fault.
Right.
He was put in a position to fail. And I hope he goes to a team where he can actually thrive when he gets the chance.
The Ravens did everything they could to try to not win against the Rams, which is just
walk
crazy.
Off punt return.
Yeah,
it's wild.
The Vikings and the Raiders, and what might be the worst football game that this season that I've actually seen in over 10 years.
I'm not gonna lie, I flipped onto that game just to watch just in time for that field goal, and I was like, I swear to God, if he misses this, I'm done with football for the year.
Oh my God, dude.
This is it.
I felt bad for my dad. He watched the whole game. Like, what is that like? He's like, he said it felt like he was watching one of my or modified games. Just like nobody would.
Did he have to eat Xanax while doing that, or
maybe? Mom's got antidepressants. Check down Purdy. Has another great day. 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick against the Seahawks. 28-16 victory. 1 touchdown every quarter. I don't know, man. I'm sick of Brock Purdy being in the MVP conversation. I just don't think he's good. He's got George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. Like, are you fucking kidding? I'm pretty sure I could throw for 380 yards in that offense. They talk about
yeah.
They talk about like respecting him and stuff and all the, but like he has an embarrassment of riches. Like there is not another offense that has that many all pro skill players. Sure, there's plenty of offenses who have like dual threats and things like that, but like not that. And so I'm just fucking, and like he has 2 of the best yards after catch people in the NFL in Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. So like I used to say this about Tom Brady all the time. Like he'd finish the game with 400 and something yards, but Julian Edelman would have like, 176 yards after catch. So I'm like, okay, so he threw the ball 3 yards to Julian Edelman, and then Julian Edelman broke it for 45, and Tom gets all those yards. Like, it's just, I don't like how they, obviously they can't fucking do the stats that way, but like, you know what I mean? You guys know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see.
I mean, he's 19 for 27 for 368 yards. That should tell you everything you need. He threw the ball 20 times, almost got 20 yards of fucking throw. Where's the yak? I need to see.
Yeah, 19 and a half. 19 and a half yards per completion is unheard of.
Longest was 54, a rating of 122.1. Where's I know, where do I get those advanced stats, like the in-air average and shit?
I'm looking at yards after catch right now. Tyreek Hill leads the league. Saw that coming.
Yeah, well.
And then you have Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, and Deebo Samuel.
Right.
Their average, Deebo Samuel's. Oh, here's just yak for reception. Deebo Samuel is averaging 10 yards yak per catch.
Right. So if Deebo Samuel has, 8 receptions, that's 80 yards that should be taken off of.
And he's averaging 16 yards a reception. So
Brock Purdy's average depth of target is 8.6 yards. Yesterday he had an average depth of target of 6 yards.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't call him a fraud, but I also wouldn't call him
I'm past calling
MVP front leader.
Right, I'm past calling him a fraud. I don't think he's a fraud. But
you could make the same argument for Tua.
Absolutely. I mean, yes and no. I don't think that Tua runs that level of because how many times a week do we see Tua hitting Tyreek Hill in stride 46 yards downfield? You know what I mean? It's just a different aspect to it. But as much as this pains me to say, I honestly think that Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the league this year. And that hurts to say.
I actually am going to disagree and say Lamar Jackson is. I said a division rival.
I know. So did I.
Oh, fair.
The
wow, CJ Stroud leads the league in air yards.
Yeah, I did know that.
Stroud, Allen, Howell, and Jordan Love.
See, that's what I mean. So I guess that's where I get at. It's like I look at two quarterbacks who had similar numbers and let's pull up the score real quick. Shouldn't. Maybe not. Josh Allen did not have a great game. But I just figure that Josh Allen, when I think of Josh Allen versus Brock Purdy, I think Josh Allen's a better quarterback.
So, where was it? A dot. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's pretty much the same order. Yeah, he's not even. Brock Purdy's between Bryce Young. Oh, what? Why are you? Hold on a second. Oh, this is gonna give me everybody that's throwing a fucking pass this year. On the fuck on. Mission quarterback. There, we'll change that up. Aaron Rodgers is number 1 of 17. Yeah, he's not even. He's down. He's between Matthew Stafford and Phillip Walker.
For what?
So, average air yards or average depth per target.
Okay.
Wow, Herbie's down there too.
Yeah, I could see that. They don't Herbie without Mike Williams. He's been basically running in routes to Keenan Allen, letting Keenan Allen go.
Yeah. Ooh, Patty Mahomes was 6.8. It's between Minshew and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
But
either way,
yeah,
I don't want to. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on Brock Purdy. I'm not. I just don't think. I don't think with the team that he has, because like Brock Purdy very well might not even be the MVP of his own team. Like, are you going to tell me that Sam Darnold couldn't come in and run that offense with the same efficiency, and then Christian McCaffrey would still be the MVP of the team? Because I think that's the case.
Yeah, it's fair.
No, I mean, when you can,
the MVP this year should be Kirkland Cousins. That man, I'm so mad. He was having the year for it.
He really was.
Honestly, I think they should give it to Tyreek Hill this year.
They're never going to do that.
It pisses me off. Like, I know that. I know that MVP is.
They absolutely should, because the fucking, and I know we'll get to this, but the Dolphins shit their pants last night.
Yeah,
after Tyreek went out.
After he left.
After
Tyreek Hill left.
History to lose a 14-point lead with 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you know the official number, James? Of how many games were won while they're up 14 with 3 minutes left?
2.
2?
Who?
Are you talking about comebacks or how many games actually won?
What
Like,
the
are you
record
saying,
How many
like,
games
how many
actually won?
by the team that was down?
Yes. Like, what do you
I
think
can
the
only
record
think of
was?
1 or 2.
What do you think the record was? Like, how many scenarios had that occurred where a team's been up by 14 with 3 minutes left?
It's probably like it's not a lot to a lot.
Wow.
I don't know the exact. You know what I'm saying? It's not common.
There were 767 other instances where a team was up by 14 with 3 minutes left and won the game until last night.
Hold on. Word that differently?
Okay.
You said what was the record?
After tonight, teams
I was
after
waiting for
tonight,
a record.
After it's 1 and 767.
Okay, that's
The
what I was looking
Titans
for.
are
Jesus
the
Christ.
only win. I wanted to know if you knew how many games prior.
No, I didn't know off the top of my head. Wasn't there a big Peyton Manning comeback years ago? That might not have been with 3 minutes left, though. I know there was a big comeback.
It also might have been 13 points.
Yeah. I don't know the timing of it.
I mean, there was. I don't know if it was Peyton Manning, but there was that all-time like Colts comeback against the Vikings.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
It wasn't Peyton Manning.
No, it wasn't? Are you sure?
It was like 2 years ago.
Oh, you're talking about the Halloween or the Thanksgiving game.
Am I thinking of that? The
Yeah,
largest
that
comeback in
was
NFL history when they were down 33-0.
Maybe it wasn't.
The Viking closed
Yeah, that was
with 32 unanswered points en route to a 39-36 time victory. Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, that was literally last year. And
It was on Thanksgiving.
It was not. It was on December 17th.
I didn't think it was on Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You've been wrong.
I remember being at work, watching it, and turning off the game and going, "Yep, we're all done with that one." And then they lost, and I was like, "How do you do that?"
Yeah, that was the last
I'm thinking. Sorry. Carry on.
that was the last situation where there'd been a ton of times it's happened and nobody's ever won. It says entering that game, teams that trailed 30 plus points at the half were 0 and 132 in the Super Bowl era, including the playoffs.
Jesus. I was thinking the Peyton Manning 21-point comeback in 4 minutes.
That's pretty impressive.
That was in 2003.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there with the all-time greatest fucking blunders in NFL history. I mean, we can blame Tyreek Hill. There's that situation all we want, but I mean, at the end of the day, the defense has got to stop him. You got one job.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's Tyreek Hill's fault,
No,
but I'm saying
just
without Tyreek Hill, they're a completely different team.
Oh, absolutely, but
which
when
is
you're
the
up,
basis, should be the basis for MVP.
Absolutely. But when you're up 14 points with 3 minutes to go, like losing your wide receiver shouldn't affect the outcome of the game.
No. Well, their defense is suspect at best.
Absolutely. I've
been saying that since day one.
It was the Titans' first road win, by the way. Fun fact.
Oh, go them.
They are 1-6 on the road.
Oh shit! The Niners locked up a playoff spot.
We'll skip over the Broncos and Chargers because we're just sad about the fact that the Chargers are the Chargers. The Broncos won 24-7. Yeah. Russell Wilson looked great. The Broncos fully have turned it around. I want to give Nico the floor because he is so excited about Monday night and he has so much to say.
Tommy fucking DeVito, baby. That's all I've got to say. The kid looks fucking great. And it just goes to show that the Giants never should have fucking paid Daniel Jones.
Absolutely not.
They should have fucking paid Saquon instead of fucking dragging their ass and just to fucking franchise tag him.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones does not deserve fucking $40 million a year. And with that offensive line that the Giants have, which let's be honest, might rival the Jets for worst in the league.
Yeah.
For Tommy DeVito to be 3-1 as a starter with a passer rating over 95.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones isn't it. He was never it. For an undrafted fucking kid out of New Jersey to be lighting up the Giants to 3 straight wins.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
I'm sorry.
Lighting up seems a bit strong.
Why?
Does it though?
Well, let's be honest here.
Let me shed some light onto that for you.
Isn't exactly the greatest.
Let me yeah, well also only having 4 incompletions and another 72 yards on the ground. Let me shed some light into Monday night's game for you. There is one player in the history of the NFL to have an over 80% completion percentage, 70 plus on the ground, and a passer rating over 100, and that's Tommy fucking DeVito.
Just specific statistic.
Yeah.
It is.
Now, did that all take place on a Monday at 8:30 during a waxing gibbous?
No, that's just the Lions.
I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's their starter.
The Giants are having fun with Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, that's fine.
I watched. They fucking. I've never seen the Giants run a flea flicker until last night.
I mean, in 4 games, he's 83 for 126 with 66% completion percentage, 855 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks with a 96.5 passer rating. I mean, I think the majority of us would sign up for those stats for our quarterback. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Right. I'm not going to shit on him.
And he's played fucking
shitting on him, but I'm saying lighting it up isn't the term I would use.
Well, I understand why Nico used that term because at the end of the day, the Giants had gone through Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor to really depressing outcomes, and now this fucking nobody comes in and leads the team to 3 victories in 4 games and looks good doing it. And honestly, the Giants' offense looks like it has a semblance of fucking life. Saquon Barkley's back to playing football again and looking like the dominant figure that he should be. So I can understand where he's coming from. I don't think he means he's out there doing C.J. Stroud shit. I think he means he's lighting it up in terms of like what the Giants do.
He's breathing life back into the fucking Giants. He's breathing life back into the Giants fan base.
Yeah. That I'll agree with.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying I'm not saying he's going out there and going 35 for 38 for 473 yards a week.
That'd be crazy.
No. If he did that, I would call Daniel Jones and say, "You're just gonna give your money to DeVito and go find somewhere else to live." I would call him back and be like, see.
Either way, Tommy Cutlets has been the story of the NFL.
I have a question. Was that really his agent?
Yes.
Yes.
That's real life?
Yeah.
That's real life. That is his agent.
James, don't pretend like you don't. Lord. You have 2 friends who are Italian Americans. Don't pretend you don't understand our culture.
No, don't. I know. I get it. I thought that was a joke.
No.
And the Italian hand is becoming prominent.
God bless.
Like, people are showing up to the game with fucking 4-foot cardboard cutouts of the emoji.
The Giants need to just go ahead and make it a foam finger at this point.
I would love that. I would have 7 of them.
One for each hand. We could just.
Yeah, I've got 7 hands.
Well, I mean, like you get 2, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, moving on to week 15, where we're diving into our Saturday matchups. The Thursday night game now doesn't mean anything to me because there's no Justin Herbert. It's Chargers at the Raiders, both 5-8. Chargers are still 3-point favorites, despite the fact that they'll be starting. I don't even fucking know who. You know who the backup is?
Stick.
Isn't his name like Stick?
Yeah, Austin Stick, I guess.
Easton Stick.
Oh yeah, I remember because the Chicklets tweeted out when he came in the game. They're like, "This guy has an all-time fucking hockey game, and his parents wasted him on football." All-time fucking hockey name.
Yep.
Easton Stick.
All-time hockey name.
That would be legendary.
It sounds like they did a home birth and they asked what they wanted to name the kid, and they just looked over in the corner and saw an Easton hockey stick.
Right. Well, I mean, their surname would already be Stick, so
missed opportunity not naming him Walking.
Yeah.
Or real, could name him after my uncle.
Vikings at the Bengals.
Shut the fuck up, James. Why?
What did you say?
I'm glad you
That's
finally
only
caught
a you and
that.
me thing. That's only a you and me thing.
I'm so glad you finally caught that. I said it and I was like, if this motherfucker doesn't remember that.
Okay, moving on to the secret spicy matchup of the weekend. Vikings at the Bengals, 1:00 Saturday. Cincinnati favored by 3.5.
In Cincinnati?
Actually, while we're going over the week, why don't we just do our picks? Who are you guys picking for Chargers, Raiders?
After watching the Raiders game on Sunday, I think they should just call it a tie and not waste anybody's time.
Okay.
Is that an option?
That's not. Chargers or Raiders. Remember, this is the Chargers team without Justin Herbert that beat the fucking Patriots 6-0.
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Okay.
Because they put up 6 and the Raiders didn't put up any, so I think I have to go Chargers on this one.
The Raiders didn't play the Pats. I guess.
They played the Vikings, whose defense is suspect.
Vikings, Bengals. James, you taking the Bengals, I assume?
All day, every day.
I'm also going to take the Bengals.
I was going to say it's Nick Mullins.
Steelers at the Colts. I really don't know what to do with this game. I don't know what to do with this game. I do not know.
Which Colts team are we going to get?
Which Colts team are we going to get? Which Steelers team are we going to get?
Which Steelers team are we going to get?
Steelers is going to show up?
This is Schrodinger's football game. We have no idea what's going to happen on that fucking field. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going solely based on road and home records. I'm going to take the Steelers because the Steelers are 3-2 on the road versus the Colts 2-4 at home. And the Colts historically cannot play at home. So I'm going to go Steelers. Nico.
James? Oh, me? Okay. You know, I think I'm going to go Colts here.
All right, James.
I'm using my tiebreaker.
What is 7 your coin?
No. I'm looking up crime rates. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Last time you did that, you lost.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to take the one with the least amount of crime this time. So, wow. Did not see that coming. Give me Pittsburgh.
My god, Andre Brower died.
Yep. Isn't it Brower?
I think it's Brower, yeah. But either way. That sucks. I love him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Same.
So who?
Oh, is that?
It's the captain.
He's the captain.
Yeah.
Captain Holt.
Who'd you take, James?
Yes.
I'm going with give me Indianapolis. I misread the crime statistics.
Okay.
I thought it was weird that Indianapolis had more violent crime than Pittsburgh.
Why?
I didn't picture Indianapolis being overly violent.
If I was from Western Pennsylvania, I would take offense to that.
Oh, well, you should. Because I misread that. Indianapolis has one of the highest crime rates in America. That's 1 in 24, not... Wow. 1 in 24? Of being a victim of violent or property crime? Jesus. Do not move to Indianapolis. They're out here murdering people.
Stupid. Oh my god. I'm literally going to do this. Indianapolis, Indiana. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Compare now. There's literally a tool for this, James. Yeah, it's Indianapolis, and it's by double.
Yeah, they're out here murdering people. Give me Indy.
The crime indices range from 1 low crime to 100 high crime. Our crimes are based on FBI data. Violent crime, Indianapolis has a rate of 63.4, which the United States rate is 22.7, and Pittsburgh has a rate of 38.1. So we are talking double the violent crime rate of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Damn. They're killers. Give me the Colts.
They're not too far from Chicago.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So moving on to the next matchup. Broncos at the Lions. I very well might go Broncos for this matchup.
Oh, I'm going Broncos.
Broncos have been flying high. The Lions have not. It's a primetime game, which we know how the Lions typically do when the nation's watching them and they have a chance to disappoint everybody. They like to take that opportunity and run with it. Nico.
St. Brown in the game.
I said cool.
No, I was asking.
What'd you ask me? I thought you said I thought you said Saint. I'm on Ross St. Brown in the game.
I said, is he gonna be in the game?
Oh, I believe.
Why wouldn't he be? He's not even on the injury
Because
report.
I believe he got injured during that Bears game.
But I definitely thought you said Amon-Ra St. Brown and gang.
In fact, quite the opposite. QB Jared Goff is determined to get Amon-Ra St. Brown more involved this week.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I'm taking the Lions.
Okay.
Did you think he said St. Brown and gang?
No, I thought you said St. Brown and the game. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
I was like,
I'm thinking
interesting.
Broncos there.
Yeah, I know you are. Bears at the Browns. I'm gonna go Browns.
Browns. Yeah, I gotta go Browns here.
No particular reason.
Which, if they make it to the playoffs without Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb,
right?
Wild.
I would say that coach deserves an opportunity at Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Is his name Sean?
Probably. Is his name? Oh yeah, I get it now. You fucking asshole. Sean is going to win Coach of the Year this year. Oh, yep. Fuck you. Browns coach is Bing's just
Kevin Stefanski.
Who?
Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski. Yeah.
That's what we said.
I know. I just want to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Needed to see it for yourself?
Well, like I was like, look, because like for whatever reason, both Google and Bing did the same thing, and they brought me like the historical coaches, and the first one on the list is Hugh Jackson. I'm like, not correct.
No, it's not.
Anyways, Bucks Packers both 6 and 7. Green Bay 3.5 point favorites playing in the tundra.
It's a December game at Lambeau
against some warm weather team.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers.
Give me the fucking cheeseheads.
Righty. Texans at the Titans.
Titans.
Yeah, Titans are home.
And they're rolling high right now. Texans are depleted.
Yeah, they're riding high.
Nico Collins got hurt. Colts is questionable.
Jets at the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Do you know what this feels like to me? This game feels like the 2010s Dolphins-Patriots matchup. Where like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So for that's going to be this week. I would say if the Jets can run their offense at even a fraction of the clip that they did this past week against the Texans, their defense is plenty good enough to hold the Dolphins to under 24 points.
Sold.
What'd you say?
Sold.
Oh, okay. Jets.
Taking the Jets.
And Nico Dolphins.
That's two different.
Chiefs, Patriots. Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs. Nope.
In fact, I am willing to take a rice chopper pie to the face and put it on TikTok and Instagram if fucking Chiefs lose this game.
Sold.
Giants at the Saints for the first time.
I will show up.
Okay. No, yeah, I want you guys to be there.
I will show up at your house, pie in hand.
Yeah, I want you guys to be there. It'll be a whole thing. A shame.
This is a verbal contract.
Yes.
And it is now on record.
But moving on, For the first time, I'm think all season, I am taking the New York Football Giants to win a game.
The New York Football Giants and Tommy fucking DeVito.
1 p.m.
Give me the flying Pazan. Let's do it.
What did you say?
The flying Pazan, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Bada bing, bada boom, get him some fucking red sauce. Either way.
James, you're
Giants by 20.
At this point, you're borderline racist, and I'm going to need you to reel it in. Okay?
Maybe racist,
especially
Italians
with
white.
2 Italian Americans in the podcast with you.
I'm Italian too, assholes.
Oh, you're not. You're a fucking Mick bastard. You know it. You fucking haggis-eating motherfucker.
That's the only thing you claim.
Your fucking last name is Burke, dude. You definitely came over here for potatoes. That was it.
I'm surprised you don't live in fucking
potato.
Idaho.
Also, isn't like your favorite meal steak and potatoes?
What does that have to do with anything?
Yes.
That's super Irish. If you were at all Italian, that would not be the case.
No, because I know my personal favorite is a Northern New York Italian thing.
Ricky's?
Yes, sir.
Riggies aren't Italian. Riggies are Polish.
They're actually Utica, but
I might come over to your house and just stab you.
Chicken Riggies are a Polish meal.
They're a Utica meal.
Chicken Riggies or Utica Riggies is an Italian-American pasta dish native to the Utica-Rome area of New York State. Are you done being fucking full of shit?
Hold on. Where did Chicken Riggies originate from?
Utica,
okay,
New
well,
York.
that helps.
Is that not what I said?
You did. No, James is having a stroke. He just is unwilling to waver on this. I don't know where you thought it was Polish. Who told you that Riggies were Polish? Because I'll fight them. It's fucking vodka sauce. Fucking rigatoni.
No, it's not. It's not vodka sauce.
It should be.
Yeah, it is.
It's
not.
It's a spicy cream and tomato sauce. It's not true vodka sauce, but for the fucking amateurs out there, when they're trying to visualize it, vodka sauce is the closest thing I could come to. I understand Nico's correction. But I don't know how you would get, we'll call it red orange-ish sauce, tomatoes. Is it hot sausage, Nico? The authentic recipe, is it hot sausage?
No, it is not. There's no meat in it other than chicken. It's banana
chicken,
peppers.
Okay, chicken, peppers, rigatoni, and cream sauce. And you thought that was Polish?
Someone told me it was fucking Polish.
Yeah, but you couldn't.
I heard
look
that.
At that.
You need to fight them.
You couldn't look at that and be like, "That's it." That right there. The fact that you didn't argue that, James, pulling any claim that you could possibly have in our set, you're out. You're out. You're Irish. Stick to Jameson whiskey, haggis, and potatoes because you fucking not enjoy your Guinness. That's all you got because you're not welcome over here on the fucking delicious side of the world with probably the #1 cuisine in the entire world.
Yeah, I'm still eating steak and baked potato over all that. But
yeah, okay. Yeah, steak and baked potato over. Let's see here: chicken parmesan, chicken Alfredo, veal parmesan.
Chicken Alfredo. Chicken Alfredo is not.
Chicken Alfredo is not true Italian, but it's Italian American, so you can still pluck it.
Chicken marsala,
cacio e pepe,
cacio e pepe, aglio e olio.
Yeah.
That sounded like you were just being racist.
Full stop. Just
because the names of the fucking dishes are in Italian. Fuck you.
One word defeats anything that you like, James, and that is the word gnocchi. Gnocchi beats everything's ass because it can do whatever it wants. You want fucking tomato sauce and gnocchi? Do it. You want soup and gnocchi? Do it. You want gnocchi in gnocchi? Do it. Who the fuck cares? It's delicious.
Gnocchi is by far the greatest pasta.
Yeah, it's potato.
I love it. I don't know who you're yelling at. Look at me. I like carbs.
We're yelling at you for thinking that fucking Riggies are Polish.
Someone in Utica told me they were Polish.
Actually, this entire argument started because you tried to claim that you were also Italian American. And then I pointed out that your favorite meal is steak and potatoes when you could have any of the absolutely delicious Italian meals that exist in the world, and you choose the generic ass steak and baked potato. Baked potato being the most boring of all potatoes.
Not when you load it with fucking cheese.
It doesn't
and
matter,
bacon.
James. That meal is literally a middle school math teacher. Boring. You are a public librarian.
I don't know how to use the Dewey Decimal System.
That's fair. I don't either. I don't know the first fucking thing about it. But
no, I'm not. Know what pisses me off though? I feel like I learned that in school, and then it just left.
Yeah, because it didn't matter. We didn't want to fucking be librarians. We were like, that's cool. Don't care.
Is that even still a thing?
Yes. Although it's phasing out from what I hear. There's like a big debate in librarian world. Don't ask me how I know that. Moving on. Falcons, Panthers.
Can someone, if you're a librarian, can you guys just reach out and let us know about the Dewey Decimal System?
Yeah, I'm sure tons of librarians are listening to our podcast, James.
Rude.
I would actually find it more shocking that if like a pastor was listening. If there was I would find it more realistic that we had pastors listening to this podcast than librarians.
I would need to go to church if that was the case.
Anyway, back to the fucking picks, for the love of God.
Yeah, Falcons, Panthers. I already picked the Falcons. Who do you guys want?
Falcons. ATL.
Yeah.
Falcons for the first time this year.
Is it?
Probably not.
Commanders at the Rams. No Tutu Atwell.
That's not a huge loss for them.
I was going to say that did not factor into my decision making. Thank you.
I'm going Rams.
Yeah. No Tutu Atwell, like they don't have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua.
Right, I'm just saying.
Yeah. The third wide receiver's gone. Okay.
Just saying. Just giving you guys the information. 49ers at the Cardinals. I want to pick the Cardinals. I really do. I just think it would be fucking hilarious.
Ooh, yeah, and no Larry Fitzgerald for this one.
What?
Said no Larry Fitzgerald for this one.
What are you talking about?
Well, the last game you decided to tell us some irrelevant fact about.
How is it irrelevant that a player who contributes to the team actively in the season isn't playing, and then the next game you're like, hey, this guy that's been retired for 3 seasons, he's not fucking playing. Shocker.
No, it's only been one.
Either way.
This is his first retired season.
Either way. The fact remains.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to miss his 37 receptions for 476 yards. Tutu Atwell just, game breaker.
Okay, do you know what that is significantly more than?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Who has 0 and 0.
Okay, well, Larry Fitzgerald's a god.
It's okay, James. I just won't give you the fucking information anymore. I'll be sure, when I'm going over the games and the stats, I'll be sure to deafen you in here, so that way you can't hear shit that I'm saying. Nico gets all the information, then I come back, pop on, and just say, hey, pick, fucking Ravens, Jags, go. Even though you don't know that Lamar Jackson...
No Ray Rice.
Yeah, Ravens Jackson, no Ray Rice. No Ray Rice, and also Lamar Jackson isn't allowed to have any water that whole game.
Oh, that changes things because cramps are real.
Okay. Are you picking the fucking Niners or the Cardinals, James?
Is that a serious question?
Yes, it's a serious question.
49ers.
Okay. That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Cowboys,
I love that we gang up on James every fucking week.
Cowboys at the Bills. Sneaky. Because the Cowboys, not as good on the road.
Bills?
Not as good on the road. Also not as good outside. The Bills, they're on a fucking high right now. They're coming back. They're fighting for a playoff position. Bills are actually favored by 2.5.
Now, this is a game where there's no Jim Kelly and no Tony Romo.
You can't actually say there's no Tony Romo because he might actually be in the.
No, it's
the press box.
It's a Fox game, so there will be.
Oh, okay.
It'll be Greg Olson, I believe. No, is he CBS too?
I don't know. I don't know who's who anymore. I can't fucking keep up. Well, I'm just gonna go solely based on violent crime and go with Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Where are you taking, Travis?
Buffalo.
Hey.
I just want to make sure that James is right. I feel like Buffalo's rough.
Yeah.
But
there's more violent crime in Buffalo.
That's not what you were going by before. Pick. Went by the one that.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the lower ones because in the past this hasn't really worked out. But I'm just gonna go for the killers.
Yeah, Buffalo, New York is is rated at 56.6, whereas Dallas is rated at 30.
Yep.
So I went Bills. James went Bills. Nico went Bills. Judging by the audio. Let's go Buffalo.
There you go.
Ravens at the Jags. Fuck me, man. Dude, 2 weeks ago, I would have been all in on the Jags. I'm like the Jags at home, something to prove, going for a 1 seed. Now I don't fucking care, man. Ravens.
I don't even need to look up statistics for this one. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, it's Baltimore. Actually, it might not be. I remember when I was in Jacksonville, it was bad.
Baltimore's a 77. Jacksonville's a 33. Yeah, the United States average is a 22, and that is scary. There's a lot of property crime in Jacksonville, though.
Yeah, 50. Maybe that was the worry. Maybe it wasn't getting shot. Heartbroken.
Not to mention, Baltimore had a killer on their team, so
literally.
Yeah.
And
Isn't you, Ray?
Eagles.
Maybe it's just guys named Ray that play in Baltimore that like to hurt people.
Eagles Seahawks. Is it the last Monday night game of the year?
I'm not sure.
No. Next week is there's 3 of them.
Yeah, well that doesn't count because it's Christmas. There's also a game at 1:00.
Yeah. Yeah, and then 17-18, there's no Monday night.
Yeah. But yeah, Eagles Seahawks. Eagles going across the country to play in Seattle, but that's different. Seattle not an easy place to play. Philly 4-point favorites. I'm gonna go Philly because I think they're gonna get their fucking heads out of their asses, and also I'm not sure if Geno Smith is starting that game.
We already said he's not.
I don't think he is. It says he's questionable, but I don't think.
Who are you going with? Do you want me?
No, I'm Eagles.
You did put me down for the Ravens, right? Because I know I didn't say anything.
I did put you down for the Ravens. Should I not have?
No, you should have.
Those crime statistics.
It's Philadelphia.
Oh no, I didn't even look.
But what's crazy?
They're too soft up there.
What's crazy, right? So Seattle has a violent crime rate of only 32.3. Philadelphia 50.8. Property crime though, 76.9 for Seattle versus 46.6 for Philadelphia. So Philadelphia is just straight killing people. They ain't fucking with theft. They ain't fucking with just straight killing people.
Are you using Best Places to Live?
Bestplaces.net.
Or bestplaces.net?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep trying to get me to sign up for their premium.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, wow. Property crime is unreal.
Yeah.
Lock your doors in Seattle.
They also had that like autonomous zone in Seattle for a little bit, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty fucked up there.
Yeah.
Nico, who you going with?
Eagles.
Birds. All right. James.
Eagles.
Also, for the update for the people who are tracking the caddy match, I am currently 126-65. James and Nico are back tied at 114-77. You guys are taking it right down to the fucking wire. I love it. I love it. Also, just for a reminder, pie to the face if Chiefs lose. 100%. We'll do that. Bill will follow.
Oh yeah, I will show up already recording at your house with pie in hand.
You don't have to. We're not going to do it at my house. Okay, my house is a mess. We have a fuck is it? Deck under construction, and yeah, we're gonna do it at a neutral location, or we'll just do it. Maybe I'll just have you guys meet me at the brewery.
Or you can just
At the brewery.
come over to the garage where we'll be working on our studio.
Yeah,
we can christen the studio with a pie to your face.
I just didn't know if you want to make that kind of mess, like at a place you haven't even finished yet.
There's no carpet or anything in there.
Right.
It's just fucking.
It doesn't matter anyways.
There's not a lot left to do.
Doesn't matter anyways. It's not going to fucking happen.
Okay, now I really hope it does.
Also, Nico, I have a Jalen Hyatt.
You tell me this every week. I'm just never at your house.
I know. I'll bring it with me if the Chiefs lose. Yeah. So.
Are you coming over Sunday to help, anyways?
I can't. Camden.
New York?
Yes, not New Jersey. That's for sure. Yeah, we're doing Christmas with her grandmother because we'll be in Texas the following week.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got what? Just the ceiling left?
Yeah, the couple little
Actually,
bits
not
of the
even
ceiling,
like
and then we
half
can start
the ceiling.
mudding.
Oh, James, while I have you, would you be cool with me hanging up a signed Eagles jersey?
Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know. I mean, it is still your property. I want to make sure it was cool because I got a signed Hassan Reddick jersey. I want to get put in a case and stuff and bring it over.
Yeah, it's gonna be the studio. I'm gonna be hanging shit in there too, so just hang it in the studio, dude. It's gonna be locked all the time, anyways, when we're not in there, so it'll be safe. Unless homeboy decides to come back and try and break a window.
Right. Okay. Well, cool.
But
Yeah,
he's going to jail, so I'm not worried about it.
So that's all settled. Week 15. We'll be kicking off on Thursday. Picks are in. Is anything else that you guys would like to bring up before we head to what do we learn?
Are we going to talk about the announcement coming, or you want to?
No.
No, just let it rip next week, and
yeah, once we get everything rolling, NDA. You know.
Okay. I'm just curious. I didn't know if we were mentioning it yet or not.
No, it can wait.
Be on the lookout for something. Something's coming down the pipe, and I'm not talking about the studio. Although the studio is coming too. Did you get any new topics for the Gong Show episode?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I've got a few I'd like to mention.
Yeah, absolutely. Just text me.
Yeah.
Go.
Alrighty.
No.
Right.
Nothing new
Just
here.
the way I like it.
What did we learn today, boys?
Does it have to be something we learned today or something we learned this week?
You can learn this week. That's fine.
I learned that in Watertown, there is actually a beautiful 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment for rent, if anybody's interested.
Whoa. Whoa. Full pause. What the fuck happened to your accent? Did you have a stroke?
No.
It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath
I was at
apartment for rent.
Okay, Nico, go.
I was at James's house working on the studio, and I told him I was looking into getting an apartment. So he jumps on Craigslist, as you do. And the first listing says 2-bedroom, 1 bath, apartment for rent. Just one. You only get 1 rant.
You only get 1 bat too. Rabies isn't included. You have to buy that separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to be able to pass a background check to get that rant, or to get the bat. But
I mean,
yeah.
Nico, what did you learn?
My anger with James just grows every week.
You learned that, or is that just that's a proclamation?
No, that is a proclamation. Also, I don't know why he picked to do this with us, because we always just gang up on him.
Because he loves it. He's actually a sadist.
I could see that.
Glutton for punishment.
Which is the same thing.
No, I'm going to tell you, like, and I say this to my wife all the time, my love language is gentle bullying. So, like, and I'm an asshole, so I just love having asshole friends. It is what it is. I don't know what it is. It's just...
I don't think of myself as an asshole.
I do.
I think of myself as a... No, I don't even know.
Asshole fits.
But it doesn't. Just because I'm sarcastic and I point out your flaws doesn't mean I'm an asshole. Because also, if you had like a bad day, I would fucking, if you really needed me to, I'd bring you whatever you fucking needed.
No, and I'm the same way.
Right.
I'm going to talk my shit. At the end of the day, if someone needs something, in a heartbeat, I'm bringing you whatever you need. But
like you're really gonna call me an asshole after I introduced you to fucking beaver nuggets?
I got more coming.
I'm gonna be reaching out to them for sponsorship. I promise you that.
Do it, and they don't even got to pay us. Just send us beaver nuggets.
That is paying because it's profit. But
one more thing before we wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Fuck Ohio State. Have fun in the fucking loser bowl.
You know what? I can't even say anything because I want Alabama to get their ass whooped.
Right.
That
was a worst case scenario for you.
It was.
You're like, whoever wins that game, just misery for you. Because it's either you watch your hated rival compete for a national championship, or you watch the only other team you probably hate as much compete for a national championship.
The only thing that could make it worse is if Georgia was in it and whoever won that game played Georgia.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that could make it worse. But, might had to take a big long and drive it into my forehead.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Trav, I'm not going to lie to you. You're missing out. This whole putting together the studio thing has just been actually extremely fun.
The last time that Nico and I were involved in any sort of project that's even close to that, and it wasn't building anything, it was just rearranging and counting things, we got so delusional that we came up with our pork chops inside joke. So,
yep.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, we've got big longs.
That was also at fucking 4:30 in the morning.
Right. I mean, we could start building that thing at 4:30.
Why were you? No, we're not.
We were doing an inventory.
Well, you guys can.
Yeah, we were doing inventory.
Like, why were you guys working?
So that was the only thing that came to my head when he called my name, and that was my response, was pork chops.
It was like the way there was so much enthusiasm. I was like, Nico, he's like, pork chops.
He goes,
I'm just like, okay, that's a thing.
I actually came across like 2 years later when you posted on my wall after I transferred down to Pulaski, and you hashtagged it pork chops.
Yes, I did. It was iconic. Great movement. But that's it, gents. As always, remember to follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is at Short Fat Bald Pod. Tell your friends, share the podcast, leave reviews. Everything helps. As stated prior, we will be posting requests for topics for our special Gong Show episode. I'm also going to be doing polls and interactivity and things like that. And then as we get rolling, as things that were mentioned subtly, but as they get rolling in the pipeline, we might be having things like giveaways and things like that. So make sure you interact so we know who you are and you can get entered for those things. Thank you guys very much for listening. We appreciate it, and we will catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Arrivederci.